going on, guys? Welcome back to this video. Today's video will be on TryHackMe machine, TryHackMe platform, and it's gonna be password attacks, the second part. In the first parts, we covered how to create a word list and how to perform offline attacks, dictionary, brute force, and rule-based attacks. Now, in today's video, we're going to cover online password attacks. Online password attacks target online protocols such as SSH, HTTP, FTP, so on and so forth. So basically, the objective is to find the correct pair of credentials, meaning username and password for a specific, login form. Could be router, it could be an SSH login, or it could be an FTP account. So that's the main objective. Okay, so let's scroll down. As you can see here, throughout this task, we're gonna cover perfectly the case of online password attacks. And the first question here, don't forget to deploy the machine to be able to access the services. So can you guess the FTP credentials without brute forcing? What's the flag? Let me switch to my machine. So guessing the FTP credentials. Now, if you want to guess credentials, you will resort to using default credentials. Default credentials can be admin, admin password, admin blank. But in the case of FTP, there is a more prominent example of default passwords or default credentials, which are the anonymous. So if you try FTP, and here we supply the IP. Yeah, so I have to connect to the VPN. Okay, on a separate tab now, we try to connect FTP. Anonymous as username, password as anonymous, and you get access. ls cd to files, ls, and we have one flag. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna say get flag.txt exit clear pwd. So we're gonna say cat, and that is the flag for the first task. All right, so this is an example of performing online password attack, right? We are targeting online protocols. That's the main difference between online password attacks and offline password attacks. In offline password attacks, we mainly target a hash or an encrypted file. So you saw that in the previous video, right? You just get back to it and you're gonna have everything explained. Let's go back now. In this question, you need to generate a rule-based dictionary from the word list, clinic.lst, in the previous task. And we're given the email against this. Okay, so the first thing, we have to generate a word list based on rules. So from the word list clinic, so to be able to find out where is that word list, we're gonna scroll up and we see here the clinic word list is somewhere. It was somewhere in the task 3. Let me check out this. Task 2. Let me go back. From the clinic word lists. Okay, we're gonna have to find out where is that word list. Clinic. Seal against. Parse all the words and generate a word list with a minimum length of 8. Note that we will be using this word list later on with another task. So we actually generated this word list, guys, in the previous video, but I actually forgot because I have bad memory. So let me tell you guys how to generate this word list again. So we're gonna use tool, and I taught you guys how to use tool. It's a tool to generate a word list based off a web page. The minimum number of characters required is 8. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna say tool, and that's the syntax. So -m8, the minimum number of characters is 8. If you wish to specify a maximum number of characters, you're gonna say here -m8 and say the maximum number of characters is 9. But here there is no requirement to specify such length, so we're gonna go back and remove the 9. -w to specify an output file, and here the web page from which we're gonna parse the output. Once you execute the command, you're gonna have the word list ready. So cat clinic, and that is the word list. Okay, fine. Let's go back to the question. In this question, you need to generate a rule-based dictionary from the word list. Okay, so we're gonna have to use John the Ripper, okay, to create a word list with rules. Okay, remember guys that we also explained that in the previous video. Let's do that one more time and generate a word list with rules. John. Okay, -- word list equal clinic. So this is the base word list, guys. Okay, that word list will be used along with the rules that we're going to select to generate an extra word list. Now here there is no specifications as to which rule to use. Let's take a look at the hint. So use the previously generated John rule from offline attacks number 2 in your attack. So in the previous task, or in previous tasks, we generated a word list based off John the Ripper rule that takes into consideration the use of numbers and symbols. Let's see here. This is the policy. So we're gonna have to generate, or we're gonna have to add a rule to the configuration of John the Ripper. This rule will actually add, as you can see guys, symbols and numbers to the word. We explained that as well in the previous video, so go back to the previous part if you haven't watched it. Now there is slight modification on this rule. Let me tell you guys. So we're gonna scroll down and go to, so here let me show you first the rule. So we're gonna say cat etc. So I created a rule named, it must be here THM or HTTP. Let me see. Hashcat. It could be hashcat. Okay, let's take a look now. So I'm gonna remove this. Okay, and here we're gonna scroll down. We're gonna search for THM. As you can see guys, I added the rule here. Okay, now as to where to add the rule, you can add it anywhere as long as it is within the rules section. As you can see, this is the section to create John the Ripper rules. Make sure to add it here. That's the name of the rule and that's the contents. Now let's go back and see why I did this. So in the question it says, so we have, as you can see guys, 2 symbols, 1 symbol and 2 numbers. Go back here, you will find it. So that's the syntax, or that's the policy of the password. It has to have symbols and numbers. Okay, so going back here, I added, as you can see, AZ here for the password itself, and 0909 because I wanted 2 digits. Okay, and then here I specified that the password contains special characters. These are the special characters: exclamation mark, ampersand, pound character, and $sign. So what's going to happen now, if I apply this rule on a given password list or word list, it's going to generate, or it's going to take the password list and mingle the passwords, mold them, and give you an output that contains, give you an word list output that contains passwords that conform to this policy or to this rule. Okay, hopefully this is clear on how to create the rule. Let's go back. So now I'm gonna say John again. Yeah, so this is the word list, okay, the original word list, and here we can say, you can name the output rules, say rules. I named it rules list.list, okay, and here you name the rule. Since the rule name that we created was thm, that's the correct command to execute and create the word list. I'm not gonna do that because I did this already, guys. So just execute the command, you will get the word list. And now I'm gonna clear cat clinic rules, and that's the output. Take a look at this. As you can see, we have symbols, the password, and then we have 2 digits. That's the policy we specified in the rule. Now it's almost ready, guys, to execute the command that will crack or find the credentials. So what we're given the email, okay, and we're required to find the password to log into the SMTPS. Okay, so Hydra, yeah, we have it here. So we specified the username with -l, and we specified the word list or modified word list according to the rules with -b uppercase, and then the protocol SMTPS and the IP address. Now, obviously, it's gonna take a lot of time, but unfortunately, I don't remember the password. Hopefully, it will finish fast, because in order to grab the flag, we're gonna have to, yeah. So here it has to find the password. Let's see if the password is fine. Yeah, this is the password, as you can see, along with the username. All right. The next question: perform a brute force attack against the Philips account for the login page. Now here we attack the browsing protocol. What is the flag? There are some basics before we go on and attack browsing services or browsing protocol HTTP. So we're gonna first have to understand how the login request is sent. We're gonna use burp, and we're gonna have to analyze the form parameters. After we analyze the form parameters and we find what kind of hey HTTP request is sent, post or get, we're gonna be able to construct the right Hydra command. Now I want you to do this task with Hydra, not with BurpSuite. I know that you can crack passwords with BurpSuite or crack login forms with BurpSuite, but just let's not be lazy here and do it with Hydra, because it teaches you a lot about intercepting requests and understanding the parameters. All right, that's the form. So first, let's simulate a login process. So test, sign in, and of course we get login failed. Now that statement is tremendously important to specify while constructing the Hydra command. You have to tell Hydra when to know when the condition is failed or when the login is failed. So you have to tell Hydra, hey, look, you have the username list and you have this password list, and if you get login failed, it means the credentials are not correct. Okay, now let's take a look at the request. So we're gonna intercept is on. I'm gonna say test. That's the request. Take a look at the parameters. So we have username as the parameter responsible for receiving the username from the user or the client, and we have the password as the field responsible for storing the password value, and we have, as you can see, it is a GET request. So in Hydra, we're gonna have to tell Hydra, look, this is a GET request, and that's the URL. Alright, so that's it for now. Let's go back to Hydra. So Hydra dash, before dash, let's go back to the notes, because these things cannot be remembered literally, so we're gonna have to rely on notes here. So first we specify the IP address, okay, and then we specify the request type. So in the current case, it is GET request. So we're gonna have to specify the IP, and then we're gonna say, hey HTTP, oops, what's that? Get form, and then the username is given in the task, which is Phillips, and the password list. So there is no hints, there is no instructions, clear instructions given on the what kind of password list we need to use. That's why we're going to take a look at the hint. We don't have time to waste. Use the clinic dictionary to find the password. It is the original one, I suppose. So we're going to go back and say clinic.list. Okay, and now it comes the position of specifying the parameters. So let's copy that for now, and we're going to modify it. So here the referrer is login get, and here it has to be index. The username is known, it is Phillips. The password is not known, we're going to leave it as is, and the condition. So dash, as you can see, F indicates a failure condition and S equal success condition. We're going to try to tell Hydra how to find that if a pair of credential is valid by specifying a failure condition. So the failure condition here is login failed. So we're gonna go back and say login failed. But guess what? There is a problem here. The exclamation mark is standing in the way, so it's not gonna work, obviously. We can try. Oops. Yeah. Or what we can do, we can put space, but this space, no, we can use exclamation mark and then space, but it also will not work. As you can see, we got many correct passwords. Obviously this is not correct. So because of the exclamation mark, I believe we're going to have to rely on success condition. So we're going to go back to the command, and instead of failure, we're going to say success. And as given in the room, guys, use logout.php, because logout is a file that is, given in the task, and it's the result of enumerating the target. So here, what's going to happen? Hydra will go ahead and try the list given here with the username Phillips. How it's going to find out if the pair of credentials is correct or not is going to rely on this condition. If Hydra is redirected to a page where it says log out, or given the option to log out with this file, it's going to know that these credentials are valid. So when you execute this command, guys, it's going to find the correct password, which I'm going to reveal. It is paracetamol. So you may ask you, why don't you execute the command here? Because it's going to take a lot of time, guys. This is a dictionary attack. So we're going to go back and say here Phillips, and the password is paracetamol. Gonna copy that and log in, and that is the flag for this task. Now let's go to the other task, or the last task, which is perform a rule-based password attack to gain access to the BurpSuite account. Find the flag at the following website. So now we have a different referrer or different URL. What's the flag? Use the clinic list dictionary in generating and expanding the word list. So we're gonna again apply the same concept or the same drill we actually did here. We're gonna take the original word list and generate a new word list using a rule or John the Ripper rule. It's given here the kind of rule that you want to use. It's single extra. We're gonna go back here and say John, let's see where's the command. Alright, fine. Let's not get crazy here. So John dash dash word list. Yeah, here it is. So this command, guys, will generate a new word list named clinic-rule-single-extra. That's the name I said I have given to the word list. And it will use the original word list clinic.lst along with the rule single extra as given in the task. Once you execute, guys, it's gonna generate this word list. Let's take a look at this word list. So I'm gonna say cat clinic rule single. Much easier if we just ls. Yeah, cat clinic rule single extra. Look at this. It's way too long. All right. Don't get crazy. Let's go back. And now we have the required word list. Now we're gonna attempt to find the password for this login form. Let's go back. Let's go to this login form and find out how it looks. That's the new login form. As you can see, it is login-post. So if we attempt now a process of login, so to get a feel of how it looks like, so that's the failure condition. That's what you get when the process is failed. That's also important, guys, again, to specify if you want to construct a command with Hydra. Give it the failure condition if you want to use a failure condition in the command. And the URL is different. Now here, the last thing you want to know is the type of request that's sent. So we're gonna activate the intercept and we're gonna send a new request. So it is a post request this time. That's also should be taken into consideration when constructing the command. Taking longer than expected. Oh, we found it. So that is the password. Let's try it. Username is Porges and this is the password. Sign in and it worked. So that is the password, guys. Okay, so for now, the room is finished, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to get access to the list of notes, make sure to subscribe to channel membership. I'm gonna see you later.